2.1, Lincoln Community Learning Center Strategic Planning. Dr. Neal.
And I'm going to turn things over to the CLC Director, Nola Derby-Bennett, to give us a little bit more of the background of the strategic plan and the goals that we will seek to reach.
Good evening. I'm excited to talk about exciting future planning for Lincoln Community Learning Centers. So my top Gallup strength is context. So for me, looking at what we've done in the past really helps me to envision what we're going to do in the future. So what I wanted to do first was just do a little revisit of our previous strategic plan, which was completed in 2015. I think many of you were involved in that process, as were over 100 community stakeholders who have a relationship with our community learning centers and the work that we do at our schools. Some of the themes that came out of that 2015 plan included deepening the work of the CLCs in, at that time, 25 sites. We're up to 30 now. Expanding from the 25 sites to eventually all Lincoln Public School buildings. Identifying what the cost would be and really getting a handle on how much it would cost our community to both deepen and expand the work of community learning centers at all sites. And then figuring out how we're going to fund it. So now we know what it costs, how are we going to fund it? And then finally, and probably the biggest piece would be figuring out how we're going to govern and organize the work that we're doing in community learning centers. So just a little bit on the progress that we've made on that 2015 plan. At the time that the plan was written, not all sites had a full-time school community coordinator, and we have now made sure that each site has a full-time school community coordinator employed by a lead agency who helps to guide the work at each of the buildings that they serve. Our CLC model is addressing our students, families, and community needs at each school. All of our CLCs have a lead agency partner. We have 10 lead agency partners currently. And all CLC schools have an active school neighborhood advisory committee, which really helps bring the community voice, the family voice, the student voice into the direction that our community learning centers take at each school, which is why each CLC looks different, because each one is being responsive to their building. We have really focused on professional development to build the capacity of all of our partners. We have these amazing nonprofit partners, and they share their professional development resources with one another. So, for example, Cedars has done a really amazing job of training all of our school community coordinators in trauma-informed care, which of course helps us in the work that we're doing with behavior management in our schools as well. And then we've also developed both a CLC nonprofit and the Safe and Successful Kids Interlocal Board, both which provide some advice and oversight, as well as governance over the work that the CLCs are doing. With relationship to broadening the work, we have increased the staff in the CLC office significantly. I am coming up next week on my 6th year anniversary in CLCs. When I started, we had a full-time secretary, a 30-hour week curriculum specialist, and a half-time data secretary. Since I've been able to add two full-time curriculum specialists, a family neighborhood engagement specialist, 2 community builders in our office, as well as partnering with our ESU to provide evaluation services. So that has definitely helped with both supporting our sites as well as providing quality assurance in all of our CLCs. We've also taken on a rebrand, so you can see our logo that we developed, and we've really taken on a marketing campaign to tell the good work of the CLCs and our partners. And like I said, we continue to grow to meet the need. We are currently, when the 2015 plan was written, we were serving 25 schools. We are now expanded to 30 schools. So thinking about what the future looks like, it's time to kind of bring our partners back to the table, all of our community stakeholders, and think about what the needs are of our community, as well as the capacity of our current partners and our current system. So I am calling this the Communities Plan because this is not Lincoln Public Schools plan, this is not Community Learning Centers plan, this is Lincoln's plan for implementing full-service community schools in our district. So what you have before you tonight is a proposal from the Institute of Educational Leadership's Coalition for Community Schools. This is the partner that helped us to complete our 2015 plan, just for some awareness. They are experts in the vision of the community schools framework on a national level. They are our national partners and our national think partners in this work. They will help us think about what we have in Lincoln that is excellent and also help to bring us a national perspective of what best practice community school framework looks like as it applies to our community. They will help us to align our process with the LPS strategic planning process, which we know will be happening concurrently. And they will really help us to consider what a whole community plan looks like for Lincoln. So the cost for this planning is $20,000, which we do have private funders that have focused on helping us with continued CLC leadership infrastructure growth, which will help contribute to some of the cost, and then we will also be able to leverage some of the interlocal funds to help cover the full cost of the strategic planning process. So what we plan to do is engage a variety of different stakeholder committees. The CLC Board of Directors will serve as our steering committee. They will help receive the feedback that we're gathering from all of our different community stakeholders, and then we'll help kind of guide the discussion and writing the final plan. We will engage principals. We will engage all of our lead agency directors. We will engage a handful of school community coordinators, both those who have been here for a really long time and also those who are brand new to our system, to help kind of get a perspective of what's needed, as well as all of those folks will be across all grade levels. So we'll be able to get a really clear perspective of what CLC looks like across our grade levels. We plan to include LPS leadership in this feedback sessions, and then probably some of the most important stakeholders are our community. So we will include elected officials, which we hope some of you will be happy to participate in. We will include our funders, parents, students, other CLC champions, those folks who have helped us for the past 25 years in leading this work, as well as our programming partners. So just a little bit about a timeline. Once our proposal is approved, we will immediately begin planning with the folks from the Institute for Educational Learning, and we will identify a timeline, and then we will start virtual and in-person meetings with our committees for the fall and into the spring. We will continually be reporting our progress to that steering committee that we talked about. And then by May, we hope to have compiled all the feedback and begin to identify the themes with the goal of having a final report and recommendations to the steering committee and to our stakeholders in May of 2024. Over the summer, we will share out the report with our stakeholders, and we'll plan to implement our new community strategic plan in the summer of 2024, ahead of the 2024-25 school year. So I'm happy to take questions.
Any questions or discussion? Annie?
I think this looks great, and congratulations on all the work that's been done. How or what can we be aware of to help dovetail this with our strat plan? Because I mean, it's going to have a lot of, not a lot of, but there is some overlapping. So anything, I'm sure you've been talking about how we can be sure that we are getting the conversation going both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think probably having board members and other LPS directors on our committees will really help us to continue to align our, the plans as we move forward. Additionally, we already know that there's a lot of overlap with the All Means All action plan that CLC has impact on, and so our guess is that as we continue to move forward, those conversations will continue to evolve, and we will be very aware of the LPS strategic plan and ensuring that we're aligning. Yeah.
That sounds great. I mean, I've seen a lot of growth in CLCs since I've been on the board, and it's exciting to see, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more coming forward. So good luck.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, this item will come back to us at our next meeting.